Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host, Zach Keys and the Fifth General. Zach Keys, what's up, man?
It was good. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, man.
Yes, as we're recording today is MLK Day. Let's do a round of applause for the late great MLK. All right.
Yes.
Often misunderstood, but at the end of the day, he was about empowerment for black people and the disenfranchised on a civil rights level.
Yes, absolutely.
They came for his life. When he started talking reparations, by the way.
Yes.
So just want to make that clear for those who forget. Zach, here, speak on it.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When Dr. King in 1966, remember I'm going to mention the Poor People's Campaign because he was going around Mississippi and he was visiting the in the black communities, visiting people in the black communities, and they were living in poor conditions, very poor conditions. And this is the same time when he went to New York, around the same time, and he spoke out against the Vietnam War, and he mentioned about the disenfranchised, what's going on in the communities, because he was about to push some changes, the same way how in 1964 when he desegregated the South at that time. Same thing would have happened to the poor people. The Poor People's Campaign. He was bringing a lot of attention, and that Lyndon Johnson kind of lifted protection off of him, president at that time, and things started to transpire and happen. He'd been getting threats even before that too. He went through a lot, and I say this too. I like the simple fact that I could teach my kids about Dr. King because there's been videos going around that people that don't know. There's a guy named about a few years ago named Mike Dyke, white guy that been asking even some black folks questions of that, and he been fooling them. They, randomly asking. Well, he asking young black folks and even some white folks too, and he's fooling them out. He's fooling them. He's asking them, "Well, do you know that Dr. King died in a car accident yesterday?" And they're saying, "Oh, I didn't know he died in a car accident yesterday. I didn't know that." And one black guy said, and he asked him, Mr. Dyke asked him, "Can you make it to the funeral?" And he's saying, and the black guy said, "No, I can't make it to the funeral. I got to go to work." That goes to tell me that thinking about taking Black History Month out, especially with they got the Santas taking Black History Month, talking about trying to downgrade and take Black History Month out, totally trying to wipe it out, and totally trying to wipe the attention of Black history. And I'm saying to myself, well, it's up to us parents. Forget about what they do, but we got to teach our kids. And I'm glad my kids know who Dr. King is and who Fannie Lou Hamer is and who Jackie Robinson is and who Frederick Douglass is and George Washington Carver is. And I'm glad they know. I'm glad because I always, it's my job to, wife job too, to let them know who they are and let them know who our ancestry is. Why? Because that's very important to know who you are, where you come from, so you can be proud. Can't know where you're going if you don't know where you come from. So it's important that we teach and we educate our kids, especially about the movement of Dr. King. Because it's not just a day off. I think I made a video like that. It's not just a day. Don't just treat it as a day off. Oh, I'm off and gonna relax and don't look at no documentation, or don't read anything up on Dr. King and the struggles, because if it wasn't for God using Dr. King for us to get certain civil rights, we'd be still sitting in the back of the bus. So, and little that we know, that the bus boycott lasted a whole year. Yeah, I think it's a whole year. The whole year. Rosa Parks, and they had the other woman that is not mentioned too much. She just recently died. I forgot her name. She just recently died. Not a civil rights activist, and that refused to give up her seat in the back of the refused to give up her seat. But it's very important that we educate and teach our children Black history, and Black History Month, and Black History. Yeah. So kudos to Dr. King, and also those who don't know. And I educate my kids on this too. If it wasn't for Coretta Scott King, we won't be having this day off, because when Ronald Reagan signed in 1983, it was celebrated in 1986. I'm old, so I remember when the first year when it was celebrated, 1986, I was 13. See, I'm giving my age away. I was 13 years old. I remember when Dr. King's holiday was first celebrated. The first year it was celebrated, which was 1986. I was 13 years old. Not ashamed to admit it. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so you have to excuse me. So I've been around. I even got an award in my junior high school for having the best Dr. King essay in the whole school. And I had to read it in front of the auditorium. I'll never forget that moment. But 1986, Stevie Wonder, "Happy Birthday to You." Yo, that song just around that whole year. Yeah. Stevie Wonder. So yeah, we got to educate our kids. I'm glad I'm able to educate my kids about Dr. King, and they know certain things. So I'm really proud about that. And it's important that we fill our kids with. This is my favorite holiday. That's why I could talk so much about it. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that, brother. I heard everything you said. Just handling business. You know how it is.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'm so glad you talked about that, man. It's been a while since we've actually done like a show just kind of focused on just our history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely man, I don't play that game of trying to put who against who when it comes to great black men back in the day. But at the end of the day, I think you could take stuff from all of them.
Yes.
I love Martin. I love Malcolm.
Yeah.
I don't put them against each other. I know people do, but at the end of the day, they were both of them were about teen black empowerment because of what we were going through back then. And then you know what? There's still things that we fight to this day, but definitely back then.
Yeah.
Definitely back then they were definitely needed, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm gonna say there. Zacchaeus.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to have you kind of lead this. I don't have my articles, and it's because I've been kind of doing things today.
Yeah.
But we were gonna talk about what everybody else has been talking about. They've been talking about ICE.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's talking about. Matter of fact, you lead the way, brother. I'm sorry, you lead the way.
January the 7th. ICE has intensified in Minneapolis. The city of Minneapolis has really intensified, and I think there was a protest out there, and it was really, really to a point where the ICE police was heavily populated in that area. Now, there was a young white woman that she's a mother, 37 years old.
Renee Good.
I'm gonna call her Renee Nicole Good, right? And she was just, I think she dropped off her son, one of her kids, maybe the babysitter, and she was a mother. I think she was a mother of two or three. She was a mother, right? And it was so injustice. Talk about injustice, man. This woman was, maybe because she didn't move fast enough, but she was driving through, and ICE police was present. And because she didn't move fast enough, or what occurred, I think they grabbed her they grabbed the passenger door, and maybe was trying to give her a command, but for some apparent reason, this ICE police happened to pull out and unlife her. For some, there's other ways of stopping someone. This woman is an innocent woman. She was not using her vehicle as a weapon. She was just trying to flee the scene. And the mean to tell me that you couldn't either shoot the tire or you couldn't just grab her license plate. You had to come to that result. And I don't care what any of the officials say or anybody say. That was injustice to the you unlifed her straight up, and that was uncalled for. That was totally uncalled for. That should have never happened. What could she do? She's a woman maybe she's panicking. If you see a bunch of ICE agents and they're yelling and screaming at you, you're gonna get nervous because so much people are screaming and shouting commands at you. Maybe this guy or woman was screaming a command at her, and she was just trying to just get out the way. But you mean to tell me the only thing you can think about is pulling out on her? That's the best result you can think of? And then Agent Orange is gonna come and say, well, they're trained, they don't need training in sensitivity. But that's the best, by unlifing somebody is the best result you can think of. And she's trying to get out the way, and you pull out. For what? What was the reason for that? And she did not, she didn't need any threat. So what was the reason for that? What was the reason for that? So I questioned the whole, and then it's, to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it, I'm a no straight shooter, keep it real. To me, when you see that kind of martial law in your community, everybody is nervous because these people are unpredictable. They're not. You mean you're stereotyping people? You're stopping them maybe because you may assume in things. You're assuming that they don't have anything on them. They might be foreigners. What? Come on. That's why I had to pay attention to it, and had to like this is injustice. You can't, and this is under this administration. Whoever voted for him did yourself an injustice, man. I tell you.
I don't know. So I don't know if I think I should be able to show the footage, because the footage is on YouTube, and I know YouTube got rules.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to show it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I want to go to what the officer thought. The officer thought that she was trying to run him over, right? Because he said he feared for his life. So I think I have some video here. I'm sorry, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure y'all probably seen it.
His life over a nervous woman. Okay.
I'm sure y'all seen it, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like there's an angle that people are talking about, and this is why we have protests. And also, I mean, Renee's from here. She's not an immigrant.
She's a citizen. You're a citizen.
Yeah, she's right. She's from here. She's right. So, and I think that's why people are like, well, look, ICE are not police, but they're acting like the nation's police.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's the thing about it. It's beyond just, I don't know. There's a lot of political ways to look at this.
Yeah.
Some would say, oh, well, they're just getting in the way of ICE detaining illegal people who are here illegally. Well, Renee's not. Well, Renee's from here. So what are we doing?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're saying somebody else got executed. I'm gonna say that. Oh, I don't know if I can say that word. Somebody else got deleted.
Yeah.
And I need to find that story because that's the story that's actually not being talked about as much. So let's see if we can pull this up, right? And then everybody else will be the judge. Okay. So let's do this. Because it's one thing to talk about it, but I like to show people. And Zacchaeus, you may have saw this offline. So also real quick, while people are listening to the show, connect with me. I mean, I've talked about it several times about TikTok, but I'm actually doing things on TikTok now besides just posting the show clips. I'm going live on TikTok, so I see an opportunity there. At Fifth General TV on TikTok. Follow Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus, what's your TikTok tag?
Zacchaeus. Yeah, Zacchaeus on TikTok. Yep.
There we go. Zacchaeus on TikTok. All right. So let's pull this up. For those who are listening, okay. I know we're pre-recorded, so I had to just let people know another way. But yeah, we do live. All right, so I'm gonna play this Zacchaeus. Peep game. Let me unmute this.
No!
It is a shock at the center of a national conversation. An ICE agent shooting and killing a civilian in the middle of a Minneapolis street. Now, over the last 24 hours, Americans have hit the streets to voice their outrage and call for accountability. You're looking at videos from protests in every corner of the country.
Now, let me go back. I want people to see something, right?
In the middle of
it's hard to see, but I want if it'll show the mouse. Yeah, let me see.
Of a national conversation. An ICE agent shooting and killing a civilian. And
a guy, one of the officers got in front of the car. Okay?
Yeah.
He's like around here. Hey, Zacchaeus, does it show my mouse pointer?
Oh, yeah, it does. It does.
Okay, good. He's right here. He's right there. Now, she's driving off. ICE officer right here is trying to grab the door, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay? Officer's right here. The officer, if I'm not mistaken, let's go back, right? As of right now, there's no officer in front of the car.
No,
right
none.
here.
Right? None.
Not there. Okay.
Right? None.
All right. Okay. You still don't see the officer.
Nope.
No!
Where's this officer? Boom. There you go. He's right
He
there.
runs up. Yeah. Yeah.
Where the heck did he come from?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
No!
He's there.
Mm-hmm.
She's driving. He's in front of it. He pulls out. He's got the hammer in his hand right at this moment. Shoots, blast. Sorry. You see the weapon right here.
Yep.
Blast. You hear the blast. That sounds like what? 3 shots?
Yeah.
Three pops.
Yep. 3 pops. Yeah.
YouTube algorithm. God. Okay. It looks perfectly fine.
it is
Right? So
Yeah.
here's my thing. If you want, and I'm not, look, how do I say that? I'm going to play the rest of the thing. Let me go
It's a
ahead and
shocking video at the center of a national conversation. An ICE agent shooting and killing a civilian in the middle of a Minneapolis street. Now, over the last 24 hours, Americans have hit the streets to voice their outrage and call for accountability. You're looking at videos from protests in every corner of the country, from New York to Seattle, Southern California to Central Florida, and all across the Midwest. In fact, we even had our own small demonstration in downtown Detroit with larger protests scheduled for Friday and Saturday. And tonight, we want to take a closer look at the video at the center of all of this and the renewed debate over use of force. Joining us now to highlight some key points investigators will be looking at is former Detroit Police Assistant Chief Steve Dolan. And with Steve's help, we're going to really go through the video and pause it at key points to take a look at the complex factors that went into both this tragic outcome and the intense investigation in the days and weeks ahead. And Steve, we thank you for joining us here tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
Now, obviously, there are mixed versions of what happened before the cameras started rolling. So we're going to focus specifically on what we can see with our own eyes. So let's start here as we see law enforcement members pull up to the scene and exit their vehicle right there. And they begin walking towards an SUV that's parked on the road. So I guess, Steve, the first question I have here is, what's the thought process of not just driving around or alerting this person by laying down their horn? What do you make of this first process, this first step?
I wouldn't pull in front of the vehicle because it's occupied. She's already blocking the street. You don't want to get another accident and have the passenger of the ICE vehicle injured. So that's one reason I wouldn't go around. The second, it appears there's a vehicle over here, ICE vehicle, right? Blocking her in. They both get out of the car and approach from the side, which is smart. I'm assuming there's an officer on that side trying to investigate her. So I can understand this. This I got.
This part we understand.
This I'm good.
So let's unpause the video and we'll see as the officers actually approach her vehicle, and one of them goes right to the door to try and open it. Now, here's the issue. Granted, we don't have the body cam audio. We don't even have body cam video because they weren't wearing it. But if you had to guess what's being said.
For context, ICE is not police. So they don't have laws that warrant them to wear body cameras. I'm saying that for the audience. Because that's been a question that's been asked. Well, what about their body cam? Well, they're not city police officers. They're not state officers. They're a federal entity. They're not permitted to wear body cams. They're not. Okay.
In this moment,
turn off the car, because I've been there, done that, unfortunately. Turn off the car and exit the vehicle. Because the window's down. The window's, right? He's reaching in.
Yep.
And so the window's down. And I'm told that there were mixed, the officers had given mixed commands. Get out of the car, put your hands up, stay in the car, whatever. He's reaching in to unlock the door because the door's locked. She's not obeying a lawful command. It appears right now.
When you say, so if you go up to someone who's in a car and they're not obeying your command, how common is it to unlock the door and try to open it yourself?
Well, usually the window's rolled up. They don't want to talk to you. But in this case, it's down, and whatever she's saying. So you don't want to get out. Okay, I'm going to unlock the car. I'm asking you to get out. You don't want to get out. That's fine. I'm going to get you out. Now, unlike what happened in Melvindale, where they tased the person, he hasn't done that.
Right.
He's like, get out of the car, get out of the car. She's not getting out of the car.
And so, Steve, let's go ahead and unpause the video again and advance this just a second or two as the driver begins to pull away here. Now the officer who ultimately fired the deadly shots is being kind of obscured behind the colleague there, as you can see. But if you look closely, you can actually see his gun has been pulled from the holster.
Yes.
In this step, anything alarming, anything speaks to you?
Yes. First, why is he in front of the car? The car is a deadly weapon. So why would you place yourself in front of the car? Now, he may have been walking around, but that's a deadly weapon. So now you're going to pull your gun out. The other two officers don't have their gun out, and they have direct contact with her. They don't perceive an immediate threat. He does. Now, in hindsight, we've heard that he was dragged down the street several months ago, the same officer.
Right.
Okay. Tactically, I'm not happy with that. And again, these two do not have the weapons drawn. They do not, it doesn't appear that they're in fear of their life. Why he's doing that, I can't speak.
And so there are question marks for you here as to why, again, the placement of this officer. Why are you standing here?
Yes.
You would say if you were deputy chief and this was your office, you'd say you should have stood over here.
Yeah, or stayed on this side of the vehicle, because you have an ICE vehicle here. There's the curb right there, unless she's going to drive up there. Why are you placing yourself in danger? That's my opinion. Well,
Steve, let's go ahead and advance the video just a few frames here, just a few frames as the officer fires, there it is, 3 times through the driver's side window and the front windshield, striking the driver, who then crashed into another vehicle a little way down the street. And when you look at specific time codes here, and I want to kind of show this to you, you'll actually see those 3 shots were all fired within 11 and a half seconds of the officers actually exiting their vehicle and arriving at the scene. So when we look at this specific video angle, it ends here, but that's not where the story ends.
No.
And so what do you make of what's going to happen here as we want to show you this nice clip? We're going to play a clip for you full screen of an encounter that happened just a few minutes later. So take a close look at this.
Okay.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
I don't care.
We understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they?
All right, right there, you're hearing from concerned bystanders, including a doctor, as Renee Good lays motionless in the driver's seat of the car. That doctor was basically denied access to the victim. Ambulances got there just a few minutes later, but according to our Minneapolis Fox station there, ICE vehicles blocked ambulances from actually reaching the scene. And finally, 15 minutes later, agents carried her limp body to paramedics. She didn't die there at the scene. She died at the hospital, but nonetheless, time was lost there.
I'm
They blocked.
gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop it right here because I can't play. At some point, YouTube's gonna be like, "Yo, man, he's letting it play too long and not talking it out."
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, there's a doctor that was trying to see Nicole laying in the vehicle, and they forbid him. They forbid him. They didn't trust him, so they forbid him. And then, as you know, when you're injured like that, kind of, you got those bullets in you, and you're injured like that, it's only a matter of time. Time
You
is
need
ticking.
immediate attention.
You need
Yeah.
immediate attention. Time is ticking. She could have survived, but depending on where the bullets went, maybe not. But time is of the essence when you're in a situation like when you're got bullets in you and you need medical attention. Time is ticking. They just unlifed her, man. They just let her just hop out of life, man. That's what they did. They didn't want her to get any medical attention. They know what they did. So, and this is a lesson that ICE is here, and it happened in Minneapolis, yes, but it also could happen in a city near you, because recently, not too long ago, when the weather was a little better in New York, ICE was in Port Richmond on Staten Island, New York. They didn't know, but people said they were present there. They were present. And you know the population there, if a few of you remember, in Port Richmond. So they were present. I think they were, when they sense as a whole immigrant population, they usually try to infiltrate and they interrogate. And don't think because it happened in Minneapolis, it's not going to happen in your city. They're gonna. They plan to spread everywhere. Plan to spread everywhere, and to me, it's just simply martial law. Martial law, where they just randomly check you, ask if you have any papers on you, and they're justified by doing that. Any kind of document to show that you're a citizen, and they're making people here, making them feel uncomfortable, making them feel like what are we like? Is it worth staying here because you're being interrogated, and if you don't have the proper paperwork that they're asking for, you're getting handcuffed, and you could be a citizen. There's many people that's and America is made up of immigrants, and there's many people that are in the community and neighborhoods that have accents, and maybe not from here, and maybe look like you and me, Fifth, and and then you're gonna get intimidated by ICE coming up to you, asking you, let me see proper document to show that you're a citizen. You made this administration made America not enjoyable. Made it not enjoyable, made it that like you got to think twice about walking the streets because of these ICE police. Yes, it's
Well, Zacchaeus, there's a name for them. They're calling them ICE World Order.
yeah, okay, yeah. ICE World Order. Yeah.
That's the nickname.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that loosely.
Yeah. ICE World Order, like New World Order. Yeah.
Somebody called them the New World Order Force, and then somebody somewhere was like, yeah, that's ICE World Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's happening to
remember first it was National Guard. Remember, Mr. T said, I'm gonna send a National Guard to and we all know the National Guard are deployed within the state.
Yes.
So he only could really do that with DC.
Yeah.
But the states have to agree.
Yeah.
To have the National Guard out there. Now the National Guard, you could say, is definitely NWO vibes, right?
Yeah.
But if ICE is being used as the New World Order Patrol, then others can be as well, And the thing is that this show is not about. Man, I need to find that other article. This show is not about us. How do I say this? My opinion is this, Zacchaeus.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion is this. So, what happened to Renee Good is nothing new to me and you, sir.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay? If you know what I mean.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And it's not always a weapon that unalives the people that we've seen on camera by a law enforcement. Sometimes it's a knee.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a chokehold.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is nothing new.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what's new. Or irregular. Is that ICE did this to a U.S. citizen, born citizen, and the person just so happens to look not like me and you, in a different gender.
Yeah.
I think that's the surprise.
Yeah.
Anything else is not a surprise, but I think that part is the surprise for some people.
Yes. And now people I'm outraged, but you see a lot of protests all over the country. There's protests going on, and yeah. It's sometimes it takes different folks for it to happen to draw the attention that these ICE World Order don't need to be here.
So I have the guy's name.
Yeah.
Sir, have you heard about Keith Porter?
No. Keith Porter.
Okay. Well, I have it. And I will bring it up. Ed? Okay. Ooh, there's a detail I didn't hear. Let's hear about what happened to Keith Porter. Keith Porter where is he at? Well, we about to find out. So this is something from Fox 11 Los Angeles 3 days ago. We need to get the reason. Okay? We need to get the reason. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to play something that's new to me as well. So we're going to give our, I haven't heard of this. Until the other day. I didn't know his name. but they're just saying, "Oh, ICE, killed somebody." Deleted somebody else. So I'm gonna respond to this. Me and Zacchaeus are gonna respond to this in real time because we don't know. So we're gonna give our organic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
This is a news show, by the way, for people who are wondering what's the whole point of the topic is. I mean, this is a current events news show. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
That off-duty ICE agent accused of a deadly New Year's Eve shooting in the San Fernando Valley is now facing shocking allegations of abuse and using hateful remarks, according to a new LA Times report. And now the family of the man who was shot to death is continuing to look for justice. For that, we go live to Rachel, Fox 11's Rachel Aragon with the latest. Rachel?
Well, Phil, the attorney for that family telling me earlier today, he believes that these new explosive allegations first reported by the LA Times, he believes this could be the basis now for either a hate crime or possibly a race-related crime. Take a look here to get some background on this New Year's Eve killing. We know that 43-year-old father of two, Keith Porter, was fatally shot just after 10:30 p.m. by an off-duty ICE agent at an apartment complex in Northridge. LAPD said Keith Porter was firing celebratory shots in the air with an AR-15 style rifle. The off-duty agent, who also lives in the apartment complex, heard the gunfire and confronted Porter. Well, DHS security officials alleging Porter pointed a rifle at the off-duty agent during a confrontation in Northridge. The agent then shot and killed Porter. Now, DHS claims the off-duty ICE officer bravely, they say, responded to an active shooter situation at his apartment complex and was forced, they claim, to use his weapon to protect his life and others at the complex. Well, according to a new LA Times report, court documents obtained by the outlet accusing the officer of child abuse and even making racist and homophobic remarks in the past. The attorney today, though, for the family wanting to know from ICE, is this individual still patrolling the community with an ICE uniform? And he also wants to know, was there ever any background check to allow this man to carry a firearm?
So at this stage, we are left puzzled, questioning what due diligence, if any, did ICE do either before hiring him or after. So it appears as though either it was a negligent hire or negligent retention, because this information certainly could be discovered.
And the attorney you heard from right there, again, he wants to get the Attorney General of California involved to investigate again because he believes there could be a basis for a hate-related crime. We also reached out to DHS earlier today about those explosive allegations first reported by the LA Times, and we are still waiting to hear back. Reporting live tonight, I'm Rachel Aragon. Phil, I'll send it back to you.
So, Rachel, the newspaper mentions the identity of this ICE agent, but he hasn't officially been identified by authorities, right?
Correct. The LA Times does, in fact, identify that man.
Zacchaeus, something doesn't seem right. I'm gonna let the rest of that play, but something doesn't seem right, and I want you to make sure that you don't forget this detail. Zacchaeus, he's an off-duty ICE officer.
Yeah,
he was off duty at the time.
Yeah.
They say that Keith Porter had an AR-15. He was firing off celebratory shots.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve. AR-15 in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, AR-15 in California. All right, I'll play the rest.
Stuff of other court filings that identify him. So we reached out to the attorney for that off-duty ICE agent. And this was interesting, Phil. She talked to me just a few minutes ago. She says that there was an investigation into child abuse, but she said that the allegations were unfounded. There was no evidence following the investigation of child abuse. She also says that her client denies making any racist remarks. And she also says that her client acted in self-defense, not just for himself, but also for the apartment complex. And she refutes what the attorney says. She says there is evidence to show that her client had a gun pointed in his direction by that man in Northridge. So again, you have two different sides here, but definitely a story will continue to follow.
Definitely. All right. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. All this here while the deadly ICE shooting of Renee Good last week in Minneapolis continues to spark protests. A new report by the fire department there shows that the 37-year-old woman sustained multiple gunshot wounds, chest, arm, and head. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. On Wednesday, an ICE agent shot another person in the leg during another confrontation there. Federal officials say that injury not deadly. Today, President Trump pulled back on a threat to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy the military.
And if
Oh Lord. You know what? No, let me see what Mr. T got.
I needed it, I'd use it. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it. But if I needed it, I'd use it. It's very powerful.
The government says one person has been arrested for allegedly stealing government property, including documents on a gun from an FBI vehicle there this week. Additionally, 12 people whom the Department of Homeland Security referred to as anti-ICE agitators were arrested there overnight.
So I just heard go ahead, Zacchaeus.
There seems like a bunch of holes in that story.
Yeah.
In that story. It doesn't seem like it's a straightforward story because it's the officer word against the civilian. That was something about he was off duty and he had a gun on him off duty and the guy was shooting up in the air and the guy refused to take command and he shot. I mean, when you really think about it, how celebrating, how he got that long shotgun and shooting off during the celebration, like you said, celebratory shots in the air, and
well, I mean, it's a rifle. He has so I just want to understand this, right? I just want to understand this. They said that a police call was ordered, right? Police, not ICE, not police, not police.
Yeah.
So police was supposed to go there, right?
Yeah.
So he shows up, off duty. Now remember, the conversation was, well, was he in uniform? Was he not?
Right.
Off duty. They're saying that this man got away with his mouth. Right? I did hear that. He's accused of using slurs and all types of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Man has an AR-15. You're saying that he pointed the AR-15. And you had what? A simple. Okay, he had I don't even know if I could even say the words. I mean, I know it's the news thing. Whatever. I'll just say what the news said. Fair use, right?
Yeah.
AR-15. They didn't say what kind of weapon that the ICE officer had. Maybe he had a regular, handgun or whatever.
Handgun,
right?
Yeah.
And so the man with the handgun got the best off duty, mind you.
Yeah.
Got the best of the guy with the AR-15.
Yeah.
So no. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of think that they should have been lighting off at each other.
Yeah,
if that was the case, it should have been he should have been able to get a few off on you if that's the case.
Right.
Seemed like the only person who let off the rounds was the off-duty officer.
Right. Yeah. That's
at him. I hate to hear stuff about the man had a rifle in his hand, even though he was shooting up in the sky. We all know that on New Year's Eve that happens. People do the 21 gun salute. I know that.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
I know that. I know that. We know that everywhere, even in the country.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you look like. We know that. So. But where he was, that shouldn't have happened. I mean, having an AR-15 in California is crazy. But I think that's the reason why he even got deleted, is because of the fact that, he saw this man with an AR-15 and just lit him up. I mean, it had nothing to do with him obeying commands or not. He just saw that a rifle and was like, well, let me just take him out of here before he take me out. That's what I really think would happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yes. He got scared and he pulled the trigger. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
I don't see that investigation going too well, man, because there's no video.
No.
And we've seen stuff with video go away it shouldn't go, right?
Yeah, yes.
That's why so many people were surprised Derek Chauvin got convicted, with over the George Floyd case, because most times, even on video, you get off if you're a cop,
Yeah. Surprising. Oh man.
But the protests for Renee Good, and I noticed in that last couple of lines in that clip we showed, they said that after Renee Good, some guy got popped in the leg by an ICE officer.
It's probably part of the protest. Who knows?
You notice how they said that that Mr. T was contemplating doing the insurrection act of deploying the military.
Yeah.
Interesting. Zacchaeus. This is very interesting, Zacchaeus. It's interesting that you want to invoke the insurrection act for that, but you didn't do that when an actual insurrection happened at D.C. years ago. Huh?
Agent Irish got the hookup. He says he's untouchable. So many people got arrested during the insurrection. What year was it? 2019?
His first term.
Yeah, first term. So many. And somebody was for him at that moment, at that time. But what happened, when you hear all these things happening like this, you're living in some crazy times. You hear all of this at one time, and you have people walking. That's why you gotta pray for God's protection, because we were literally walking on eggshells here. If you see ICE soldiers, I've never seen them, but doesn't mean that they're not here. But going back to that case, man, it's like so many loopholes, and I have a strong belief that ICE soldier is going to get off anyway.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Renee Nicole Good too. They're gonna fight more to not let him off. That's what's gonna happen, and I hope that there's justice for these victims. I pray. I pray, because you know what? The scary thing about this is, because they're present and they're here, I see this happening some more.
Yeah.
Because when you don't know how to talk to people, your first thing is pull out, but you don't know how to understand some people, what they're going through, and like Renee Nicole Good, she was trying to get out the way. It's not that she was, but as you can see, that the anchorman said that the officer was given so many directions, but that would make a person nervous. Here you're barking at me directions, and you mix up with it too, and you're wearing a mask, and I've never seen nobody like that before. Of course, you're gonna get nervous. It's sad, man. And then he got this brother. They allegedly said he shot up in the air, and they unlifed him because he was aiming at the officer.
Yeah, I don't have a. I'm gonna be honest with you, Zacchaeus.
Yeah,
I really don't have a completed opinion.
Right.
On this. I mean, we're just responding to what's being said.
Right.
Especially with this last one, but the Renee one. I mean, we've had some more time about that, and we're just now seeing multiple angles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the argument is, if you're fleeing a scene, do you deserve to get popped off a couple times?
Yeah.
How come you couldn't just it's not so much of, I mean, there wasn't a warrant for her arrest.
Right.
Like, okay, I just want to say it this way. If you committed a crime
Yeah.
and then now you're like wanted.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But she didn't commit a crime prior to the scuffle.
Right.
Now you can say once she was avoiding whatever it is, because the officer was reaching for the car door, and another officer just so happens to be on one side of the vehicle, makes his way to the front of the vehicle for some reason.
Yeah.
Why would you get in front of a vehicle and you told him to drive off? Now if she was supposed now if drive off mean, okay, you know what? Don't drive off now. Stay right here because
right.
You're being disrespectful. We gotta but I don't think you should be bodied because you're being disrespectful.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, if I like, it doesn't make sense if a civilian calls a cop by a punk or whatever by his name.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you just pull out a gat and pop him.
No.
You shouldn't be popped for that. You didn't commit a crime. You didn't assault an officer.
Right.
In that present moment. Now, once you do assault an officer, then I understand.
Yes.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't have a complete opinion on both stories. I have questions, but I don't have a complete opinion.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, this show is for the audience. I don't know.
Right.
I could tell you that the optics don't look right.
Right.
Zacchaeus, I'm gonna let you close it out.
Well, when you look at this whole spectrum, we gotta look at the whole spectrum of things, and can I say because this protest going on, and the question is, do they need sensitivity training? Because Agent Arnold is saying no, let them be. And because of that, and he just letting these ICE agents swarm the city and communities, I don't see anything good coming out of this at all. I see more martial law, meaning that they can frisk you, stop you, check you, and if you don't come up with a proper document, they can just detain you. That's what's going on, roaming the streets. Now, I know some people might argue and say, "Oh, no, that's not true. Well, they're just going to be you're just trying to protect the U.S. citizens." No, well, guess what? Sorry to pop your bubble because it was a U.S. citizen that just got unlifed.
Yeah.
So, how are you protecting the U.S. citizens again? Oh, you missed us with that one.
Zacchaeus, I just remembered before we go.
Yeah.
They said that ICE raided a building that had ties to, a gang from I think Venezuela or whatever, right?
Oh, okay.
And they pretty much rounded everyone at an apartment building in Chicago, right?
Right.
And they pretty much handcuffed everybody. And then ran paperwork on them afterwards.
Oh,
because all of them wasn't illegal, right?
Right.
In that process, they were able to get those who were illegal, and those who just so happened to have warrants for their arrest.
Right, yeah.
Because that happened on Mr. T's side, it was justified because they was able to also walk and chew gum at the same time because they was able to get some people who had warrants on them.
Yeah, see.
But here's the thing: it was 3:00 in the morning, and you done rounded up families, got kids outside.
Yeah.
That's a traumatizing experience.
It is. Yeah.
So this is the agenda that's being pushed, and that is, what we're trying to get the ones who ain't got paperwork, right?
Yeah,
that's the agenda, right?
Yeah,
and then it's, oh well, if we just so happen to get some other people, it is what it is.
It is what it is. At the expense of of U.S. citizens. It is what it is.
Right. So, but it hasn't reached everybody's doorstep. The protest is not from my understanding, the protest is not against ICE doing their job that they were sworn to do. The protest is about excessive force.
Yes.
From ICE towards, citizens that ain't got nothing to do with this.
Right.
So they're basically doing the local police's job.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like they're taking over. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus, let them know where to reach you, man.
You can reach me on TikTok, Zacchaeus on TikTok, also on Instagram, Zacchaeus Music on Instagram. Wayne Backers on Instagram. Also, you can reach me on Facebook. Zacchaeus on Facebook, Wayne Backers 167 on Facebook. Check us out. Yeah, and also my other the other YouTube channel, Gospel YouTube channel, Zacchaeus Gospel. Check that out too as well.
Yeah. Support Zacchaeus channel. You can reach me at the Fifth General, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, to think about that. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm barely on Twitter, but I mean I got it.
Yeah.
Fifth General TV at TikTok, Fifth General TV on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
All right. This was another episode. I know we've been going for a couple weeks because family matters.
Right, yeah.
So everybody had their Christmas and New Year's go by and all that, you know what I mean? But family matters, so we had to, do that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we're back weekly. All right. We'll see y'all next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.